I guess unfortunately, and in another aspect, fortunately, two of our deputies got a little too close. They actually drove into the tornado and did not realize at that point exactly where it was. One of our deputies' car was absolutely destroyed with him in it, absolutely destroyed. The officer that was behind him, I was about a mile ahead of them. The officer that was immediately behind him, he suffered significant damage to his vehicle, but miraculously these two officers came out of that unhurt. I turned around immediately when they radioed that they were in trouble. I couldn't get to them because all the trees and things were down. When I did make it up to them, I found that they were up in a field in an Amish community. This tornado crossed the roadway and came through an Amish community. One of the houses took out a whole family. And then as it came across the field before it got to the road where the deputies were at, there was an Amish dwelling and a young girl was injured there. When the deputies crawled out of their cars, they heard screams for help. So it put them there. Had they not been where they were, they wouldn't have heard this young lady screaming. When I got up there to them, I found them to be up in this field where this home used to be, and they were tending to this young Amish girl. And she had a severe laceration to her leg. She was going into shock. I think it was an arterial bleed. And they were very, very concerned about the possibility of us we couldn't get an ambulance out there to us. Our radio communications went down, so I had a radio system in my police vehicle for McCracken County, the Paducah area. I got on that radio and communicated directly with the McCracken County Sheriff's dispatch requesting an ambulance to come to our location. Again, not knowing how close the ambulance could get to us, but anyway, I needed to know that we had some help coming. We ended up stopping the bleed, the deputies did, and we carried her out to one of our patrol cars that was still operational on a door that had been ripped from the home. We used it as a gurney, and we put her on that door and carried her out to one of our patrol cars and took her to the hospital ourselves. Miraculously, this young lady made it. So when I talked about it being unfortunate that the deputies were so close, but kind of fortunate too, they escaped injury and death. But by being out there in that area, I believe that they probably were able to save this young lady. So